I want to share with you how to identify the hot button in people. Because there's 4 different personalities that you're always going to market to. And I can tell you this right now, when I share this with you, you will be equipped. You'll be able to walk into a room and within 5 minutes, you should be able to size up exactly who your prospect or prospects are. And when you're able to know exactly who they are and what motivates them, then you will know how to meet them in the pit and take them to the peak. Because most of us, what we're trying to do is we're trying to sell our programs. No, don't sell your program, sell solutions. You're selling transformation and selling solutions. And so let me give you an example of how this really works. There's 4 dominant colors, 4 different colors, and some of you actually are going to fall into these categories, and actually some of you are going to fall into multiple categories. But what I have known, and I can tell you this over the last 20 plus years that I've been teaching this, training this, and using this, I can tell you that the majority of the people have one dominant color, and then you've got a secondary color. And some of you who are fortunate enough, you've got each and every color in your personality wheel, okay? And so when I talk about the magic of colors, let's go through it for a second so that you can start to understand it. And what I want you thinking of while we go through this is I want you thinking of yourself. I want you thinking maybe even of your spouse or loved one or maybe your sponsor, whoever it may be, because you are going to be able to have one up on anybody who walks into a room. When I walk into a room, I walk in with the advantage. Why? I walk in with the knowledge of what I'm about to share with you right now. And within 5 minutes after I've talked to a person and asked them questions, I know exactly who they are. I know exactly their personality type, and I know exactly what motivates them. And I'm able to get whatever it is that I want from them because I know who they are. It's about curiosity, okay? And it's about understanding people. So let's start with the first color, reds. What's the benefit and what's the category and what's the, how do you characterize what I call the reds in personality? Reds are very direct. They're very direct and they're very results driven. Very direct and very results driven. Now, how many of you know some people who are very direct, very results driven? These are the people who come into the business and say, hey, listen, what's the record for top earner? Who's going diamond? What's the record for diamond? I'm going to break that record. They're very competitive, right? And reds typically don't have great people skills because they're so direct, they hurt a lot of people's feelings. How many of you have had the people or have been around someone, they don't mean any harm, but they do a lot of harm sometimes, all right? And it's because it's just that they're so direct, and depending on who they're talking to, other people's feelings can get hurt. But they're going to say it like it is. They're not going to think twice. They're going to be very, very straight to the point and very matter of fact. There's a way that you can motivate a red, okay? You motivate them with competition. You motivate reds with competition. Reds always want to win. Reds always want to be first. You say, well, HB, what does this have to do with closing? When you know that you've got a red in the room or in your audience or who's one of your prospects, this gives you the psychological edge of knowing exactly what to say to a red. As a matter of fact, I'll show you some of the things of how you can actually utilize this with the people and how it actually works. And I use it in everyday life. And it's made network marketing so much easier for me when I walk into a room. All right. Now, the reds are also, like I said, the first ones to win. Typically, your reds are the ones who want to break all the records, and they typically do break all the records. And what you're going to find is this. You're going to find that reds typically get to the top of the compensation plan rather quickly. Reds are good. Reds love network marketing. And here's the thing I want you to understand. All 4 colors can actually be successful. I've had all 4 colors become millionaires in the business. And so if you're not a red, don't worry about it. We're going to find your color. The next color is what we call blues. Who are the blues? The blues are the people in the business who are, they're the social butterflies in the business. They love recognition. They want their name called so much. They're the people who get the party started. You ever been to a party and nobody's on the dance floor, and the next thing you know, you see somebody come out there, they're dancing by themselves, and they're going and grabbing people, bringing them to the dance floor? Those are the blues. The blues are the ones who are so excited. They bring everybody to the dance floor. Why? They want the life of the party. And so knowing that this person is recognition driven, okay, when you know that, now you've got an advantage. The blues are the people that you allow to be the ushers. If you're having a big event, don't ever put the reds at the door to usher people in, okay? Because if they come improperly dressed, the red's gonna tell, listen, you didn't come dressed right. Here are the rules. Bye-bye, see you later. Where your blues are gonna say, come on in, let's have some fun today. Your blues have the hospitality. Your blues love to have fun. Your blues are gonna give them the warm and fuzzies. That's who your blues are when it comes to the personalities, all right? Now, the next we've got the greens. The greens are very direct in their communication. They're also very matter of fact. Greens can also sometimes hurt people's feelings, but not as much as reds. But your greens are so analytical. They are results driven, but they're very analytical. They want the details. The greens want to know, hey, listen, you know what? Tell me exactly, when did this company start? And I want to know what, if you could get me the company formation document so that I can verify that the company actually started when you said it. The greens are the ones who's going to read every single paragraph in the policies and procedures. The greens are the ones who's going to come back to you and say, hey, listen, I would get started in this company, but you guys misspelled this word here. And until you guys spell this word correctly, I don't think we'll be able to move forward, right? Because they're so analytical. The greens want to know all the details. Share with me every single bonus that's in this company. Tell me all the products. If you could, give me a list. Give me a list of all the ingredients so that I can actually check and make sure that if I consume these products right here, that my hamster won't actually catch something by me taking these products, right? And I'm just making a joke out of it, but that's who your greens are. They're very detailed. And if you know that, you can actually motivate them. And I'll share with you a couple of ways of how to motivate them. And then you've got what we call your yellows. Who are your yellows? Your yellows are cause driven. They're not in it for the big money. They're not going to win first place in the contest so much. They're not overly competitive. But when you talk about charity and you start talking about helping people, when you start talking about that there's a mission to be done and that other people have the opportunity to benefit, that's their hot button. How many of you know people that every time you go and you ask them, why are you in the business? And they say, well, I just like helping people. See, the yellows really do mean that. They do. They've got a heart of gold. Now, let me share this with you. When you look at all of these different colors, what does it all mean? It means that when you start to understand these personalities, it gives you an advantage. I have used all of these understanding of these particular personalities so that I always have the advantage. Yellows are the people that you love to have at your front registration desk because the yellows are going to be so pleasing. The yellows are going to be non-offensive. Your greens, you probably want to put them, the greens are the ones that if you're actually having people collect money for the meeting, put the greens in charge of that. You want to put the greens in charge of the run of show. Put the greens in charge of exactly all the details of what that event or what that meeting is going to be. Here's the thing, here's the person you don't give the details to. You don't give them to the blues, okay? No matter what you do, don't put blues in charge of the details, all right? Because there probably won't be an event. They'll forget to book the hotel. Trust me. Your greens are going to book it. Your reds are going to book it. But your yellows and your blues, keep them away from all the details. Now, you say, well, HB, how do I use it when I am closing? When I find a guy who's so competitive and I've come into a room and in 5 minutes after talking to him, I can actually size them up or size her up and I can tell that they're competitive, I challenge them. I challenge them, okay? Because they're so competitive. Hey, you know what? Who broke the record? What's the fastest to get there? When they ask me questions like that, I'll say, well, the record's been broken. The record's been set and it's 90 days to the highest pin, but I don't know if that's something that you can do. It takes a very unique person to do that. When you tell a red that, it's over. They're signing up in the business just to prove to you that they can get it done. They don't care about anything. They could have, listen, you could have told them. You could have They could have been completely out of the business, but until you challenge them, they're joining and they're going to go diamond just to prove to you that they are the ones. And do you know how many $1 million earners that I have recruited in the business who became $1 million earners just because I was able to know that they were Reds and I challenged them. And Reds don't like their egos to be challenged. Now, you do it in a very respectful way, but you challenge them. You let them know that there's a challenge in some form or fashion and they get motivated. Blues, you know how you get blues into the business? Because they're so recognition driven. Show them pictures of the convention. Show them pictures of your recruiting trips. Your reward trips. Hey, listen, you know what? The company's got a major promotion going on right now. And for those people who achieve this particular rank in this particular time, they're going to actually give us an all expense paid trip. And we're going over to the Bahamas, or we're going over to Hawaii, or we're going over to Mexico. And I'm telling you, we are going to party. We won't do any work. We are going to have an incredible time. And I'm telling you, the blues, ladies and gentlemen, it's boiling in their stomach right now. The excitement. I can tell you a true story of mine, how I actually got involved in the business. I'm telling you this right now, I actually went to not get involved in the business. I actually went not to get involved. But the leader sized me up, and he knew the blue in me at that moment is what needed to be challenged. And here it was. I'm on the phone and talking to this guy about a company. My buddy calls me up. He says, HB, there's these people who want to recruit us to this company, and I don't want to tell them no, but I know you're very quick at saying no. I said, put me on the phone with them. So he puts me on the phone with them. We have this conversation. We have a talk. And I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, sounds pretty interesting, but I'm going to say no at the end because that's my job. I got on this call just so that I could say no. And so here's what I told him. I said, well, this sounds really good, but you know what? We're not really looking to do anything right now. So the answer is no. But however, the next time you're having an event, let us know. We'll actually, fly into your event to take a look at your recognition. Because if you're having great amount of people at recognition, we know that people are making money. He says, I'll do you one even better. He says, we're starting an event this weekend. And guess what he did? He called my bluff. He says, you should be here. The red in me said, I got to do it. Why? I challenged him to let me know. The red in me, he made me an offer. I had to take the offer. And so here I was. 6 hours later, I'm on a flight to Atlanta, Georgia. I go to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm still saying, I'm going to tell him no. I saw the recognition, wasn't so impressed. Saw him train, I was halfway impressed. But I sat there the entire time, rocking in the back of my seat like this, not giving all the energy, and he knew. And it was one thing that he did. I found out later on, he switched one part of recognition to Saturday that it was supposed to be on Sunday, and I was leaving Sunday. And it was the ring ceremony. And Saturday after lunch, I never forget it. He paraded just about 6 people across the stage, and he brought them on the stage, and these were people who had hit a certain rank, and they had these rings that you would actually get purchased by him, not the company. Huge diamond rings, and it was worth $35,000. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I still have a picture of it. When those rings came out and he took a break, I must have run to the front of the room to see the ring. And I took my camera and I'm taking a picture, and I'm sending a picture of me and my buddy. He put the ring on my finger, me and my buddy sitting there, and we're showing the ring, and I'm calling my wife back, say, honey, I found it, our new company. I was not going to join that company, but it was the blue in me. It was that blue in me that wanted this ring. I wanted to be a part of something unique, and he knew it. I didn't care about their products. I didn't even know what they sold. I cared about the comp plan, but not that much. The company was brand new, so the event wasn't really big. It was maybe 150, 200 people there. But when he brought the rings out, I melted because he knew this guy wants recognition. And that's how he got me. And do you know, because he knew this and understood it, do you know how many millions of dollars that he earned from my volume? So what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is knowing this gives you the slight edge, and you want to have the slight edge.